Hey YouTube, I'm back. I told you guys that I was going to do a video on how to advance before advance in pay grade and rank before boot camp and during boot camp. Okay, number one. Let's start. There are several ways that you can do this, and these are a few of the ways. Usually it'll take from, if you do not do these things and you go in as an E1 and you come out of boot camp as an E1, which is the very lowest of the low, with no you pretty much have no type of rank at all, no insignia, which is the little symbol, no little picture, nothing. You have that if you're going as an E1. In order to test out to go from E1 to E2, you have to wait 9 months. In order to go from E2 to E3, you have to wait an additional 9 months. So that's 18 months of waiting for something that you could have came in as. So let's get to it. Ways that you can advance early to an E2. I'll start with that. Ways to join as an E2. Those ways. You either can, number one, for E2, before you get to boot camp, you can either complete 2 years of ROTC, which is college ROTC, not JROTC that you did in high school, if you did that. You can finish the DEP qualification standards, the written test, which is to pass the written test and the physical requirements. That's at RTC, maybe. You can go to college, and if you have 24 semester hours or 36 quarter credit hours at an accredited institution, you can go in as an E2. You can also, if you did not go to like a university or a college, but you went to a trade school or something like that, if you've done 1,080 classroom hours there, you can go in as an E2. You can complete 2 years and graduate from an accredited high school level military academy. If you went to a high school military academy, then you will go in as an E2 if you've done at least 2 years and you graduated. You can use your documentation of advancement to E2 in the Naval Sea Cadet program. You can look more into that. I'm not sure exactly what that is. You can do documentation of the quartermaster requirements in the Sea Scouts, and again, I'm not sure what that is. And documentation of designation as E5 in the Young Marine program. Once again, not sure what that is. But so on to early advancement to an E3, which is what I will be doing when I do go. You either have to do, you can go in as an E3 before you even get to boot camp by completing 3 years of JROTC, which is the high school program. JROTC. If you've done 3 years of that, you can go in as an E3. Or you complete 48 semester hours or 72 quarter credit hours in a university or college, accredited, may I add, and complete 2,160 classroom hours at an accredited vocational school or trade school or something like that. Okay. Before going to boot camp, also, you can do a you can get a referral recognition program, which is like, if say if you're joining, you already on a ball, you're in depth or something like that, and you have friends that want to join also, but they were scared to join, you bring that person to your recruiter, even and they join, I'm not sure, and maybe even if they don't join, but if they come and go through the process with your recruiter, then you may have a chance for advancement. That is May. So, and after, you can also pick up pay grades after you get to RTC by being a part of recruit leadership. Okay, you can pick up rank in bootcamp, by okay, you can pick up rank while at bootcamp by becoming one of the leaders in your division. Jobs like Yeoman, Master at Arms, Chief Recruit, Petty Officer. It'll put you in contact. You'll be right under the RDC. You'll be a leader. You'll be pretty good. But if you're not so good, it's a lot of extra work, and it may not be worth it because you're gonna get blamed for everything that happens in your platoon. I think I said that wrong because I don't think Navy has platoons, or they might. I might be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, in your group. So if you're not good at leadership, if you don't think you can handle it, then you need not to volunteer because it'll be a lot harder on you in boot camp. But if you think you can handle it, and you're good to go, you're a good leader, you've done it before, you've done, say, captain of the drill team, things like that, ROTC, you've done it in the past, then you might be good for that. And you can, if you make it to the end. I've heard that majority of people that start volunteer in the beginning do not finish. They get fired from their job. So, but the ones that do finish, they tend to get ranked up at the end of boot camp. They do get ranked up. Let's see. There are several different There are several different ones that you can do. I'm looking at about 13 of them. So I don't know if all of them will get recruited. I'm sorry. I don't know if all of them would get ranked up, but I've heard that if you do a leadership position, because there's about 13 of them out of your 88 group of people, you tend to get stepped up. Another way that you can get to an E2, will rank up. If you're going in as an E2, you can get to E3. If you're going in as a E3, you cannot get ranked up in boot camp. But if you're going in as an E1, I would suggest that you study really hard your required information, like your Anchors Away, which is Navy song, your core values, your Navy ranks in a Sigma, which is the little patch that they have to tell you what rank they are. Your general orders, your 11 general orders, your chain of command. I've heard there are a lot of chain of command. Do not quote me on this, but I did hear that you really only need to know the first 6. So don't quote me, but I will focus on at least the first 10, because there is a lot. But I don't even know if I was focused on the first 10, maybe the first 8, but I don't know. You also have your Sailor's Creed. But other than that, let me see. Am I missing something? Oh, and in order to be advanced in boot camp, you have to pass the first physical and your written test. The first physical test and your written test. You have to pass them the first time through to be automatically advanced. If not, then you will have to wait, like everybody else. For your physical tests, you know, there are very much so different requirements for females and males, and also different age range. Like you have an age range from 18 to 20. I think it's actually 17 to 20. 17 to 19, and then 20 to 24 is one group, and then I don't know after that, because I'm in the group of 20 to 24. So other than that, I believe that is all. If you want more information on those, go to bootcampforme.com. I will definitely post a link to the different information. There's a lot of information that you need on here, so I would suggest looking it up, going to it, studying it, even if you're not in depth. If you know you're gonna do this, and you know that this is what you plan on doing, read ahead, study up, so you won't have to stuff and cram everything in at one time before you go to boot camp, and that's what you're worrying about, because you can prevent it all, pretty much. It's really not that much. General orders, I mean, hey, you gotta do it. Core values, there's only like 4, so I mean, it's not that hard. Maybe 3. Let me see. Honor, courage, and commitment. Those are your core values. No specific order, just have them in your head. Honor, standing tall, caring about your impression on others, doing what is hard because you know it is right. These things are a joke to some, but not a sailor. Courage, not just courage when the battle is in front of you. Courage to do the right thing when no one is watching. Courage to acknowledge that no matter how many times you tell yourself you're not a role model, that you are recognized. That you recognize that you are. 3, commitment to your shipmates, your family, your responsibilities, and to yourself. Those are the core values. That's it. That's all. Ranks. These are things that you definitely will need to know. Your ranks you will definitely need to know. I cannot stress this enough. Definitely will need to know. Your ranks and insignias. Okay. I'm going to do a quick rundown. Quick. So, it's not that hard as you think. E1 through, let's see. Okay. I'll go through the names really quick. E1, Seaman Recruit. E2, Seaman Apprentice. E3, Seaman. E4 through E6. Those are petty officers. E4 is petty officer 3rd class. E5 is petty officer 2nd class. E6 petty officer 1st class. E7, 8, and 9 are chiefs. E7, chief petty officer. E8, senior chief petty officer. E9, master chief petty officer. And there are other E9s, which are command chief petty officer, fleet force master chief petty officer, and master chief petty officer of the Navy, which is, I believe, the biggest one that you could be. These are the quick differences from the insignias, which are the little patches. Seaman E1, like I said before, you don't have anything. You have pretty much no rank, no description, no collar, nothing. You don't have anything. Because at that point, you just the recruit. You're whatever they want you to be. E2 and E3. E2 and E3 are just diagonal strikes. If you're E2, then you have 2 diagonal strikes. If you're E3, you have 3 diagonal strikes. Simple as that. E4 through E6, which are the petty officers. 3rd, 2nd, and 1st class. It goes in order. You have in your insignia, you have the perched eagle and the chevron, which is like the little like the bottom of a diamond. I don't know how to explain it, but it's chevron. So you have 3rd class has 1 chevron. 4th class, there's no 4th class. 3rd class, which is an E4, has 1 chevron. Petty officer 2nd class has 2 chevrons. Petty officer 1st class, has 3 chevrons. with the eagle. E7, 8, and 9. Those only difference with those are they have a 3 chevrons, but you add a rocker to it, which is just a little arch on the top chevron, and that's all for Chief Petty Officer. For Senior Chief Petty Officer, it's the exact same thing, but it has a silver star at the top of the eagle. Master Chief Petty Officer, it has 2 silver stars. Command Chief Petty Officer has 2 silver stars also, but instead of the anchor, it is a star inside the rocker. Fleet Force Master has 2 gold stars at the top, but it still has the same everything else. And for Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, you have 3 gold stars at the top. Everything else the same. I'm not going to go into detail about what your collar devices look like. You can go and look that up. You're going to have to study it anyway, because you're not going to just remember just based off what I just said. But this video is getting kind of long, so I am going to quickly go over the general orders and what it is and where you can find them. And then that is it. General order number 1. To take charge of this post and all government property in view. General order number 2. To walk my post in military manner, keeping always on the alert and observing everything that takes place within sight or hearing. Number 3. To report all violations of orders I am instructed to enforce. Number 4. To repeat all calls from posts more distant from the guardhouse than my own. Number 5. To quit my post only when properly relieved. 6. To receive, obey, and pass on to the sentry who relieves me all orders from the commanding officer, command duty officer, officer of the deck, and officers and petty officers of the watch only. Number 7. To talk to no one except in the line of duty. Number 8. To give the alarm in case of fire or disorder. Number 9. To call the officer of the deck in any case not covered by instruction. 10. To salute all officers in all colors and standards not case. 11. To be especially watchful at night and during the time for challenge all persons on or near post, and to allow no one to pass without proper authority. That is it. Recruit, chain of command, I'm not going to go through that. It's long. I'm not going to do it. You are going to have to do recruit handwriting. In order for people, the Navy, to be able to read everyone's handwriting, everyone has to write the same. Only a little bit is different if you write proper print English, but it's not much different. Other than that, you will not have to know pretty much anything else in bootcamp. That's pretty much it for you. So on that note, I am at 18 minutes and 51 seconds. So I am done for now, and I will be back with my ASVAB video. I'm knocking them out tonight. Knocking them out. So I will see you guys later. Bye bye.